Believe it or not, this is easy and delicious. Brazo de Mercedes with ube-flavored custard filling. Join me here at my small kitchen and let's make this together. Here on Channel 1, where we grow, cook and share. Hello, we're making Brazo de Mercedes today, but it has a twist, Brazo de Mercedes nog version. Yes, nog, it's dark because it's the ube variation. We made this before and I just feel the need to post a better version. That's why thank you for joining me here today. We're making Brazo de Mercedes ube version. I'll now show you the rest of the ingredients. This version introduces ube into the filling. So traditionally we would need just egg yolks and milk, but with this enhancement we need also 1 cup of halaya plus whole milk. As an option you can also use this entirely. We also need ube flavoring, just 1 tablespoon. If you want a more accentuated ube color, feel free to use food color. For more creaminess we also need butter, 4 tablespoons. And then a glance at the filling ingredients: the milk, egg yolks, halaya, the ube flavoring and butter. Now let's talk about the meringue, for which we need 10 egg whites. Tip here, your container should be free of any trace of grease or even water or even eggshell. We don't want those. Okay? Grease, water, shell, we don't want them here. That's why it's advisable to use metal or glass container. Let's put this aside for now. In addition to the egg white, for the meringue we need 1/3 cup of sugar plus the cream of tartar. This stabilizes the meringue. If you don't have this, you can also use any acidic, let's say, substance, vinegar. It's okay to use this because you cannot taste it anyway. Or what else? Vitamin C. The replacements, the quantities in the description box below. Start whisking at medium speed. When it becomes frothy like this, it's time to add the cream of tartar. Continue mixing, and now at higher speed, and gradually add the sugar. Allow the earlier scope to dissolve before adding the next scope. Depending on the speed, this process would take around 10 minutes. It's time to stop when it reaches the steep peak stage. It should be steep at the same time still shiny, like this. This is what I mean by stiff. Let's pour and spread this meringue onto this tray, which I line with parchment paper. I usually use a non-stick parchment paper, that's why I forgot to grease it. And I should have fixed the parchment paper onto the tray by using some of the meringue to paste it. It's not a showstopper. This is inconvenient. Spread and flatten the meringue onto the tray, like this. It's almost perfectly flat, but it doesn't need to be perfectly flat because we are applying some design, furrows or lines. Look at these lines. Into the oven now at 170 degrees Celsius. I'll give you the Fahrenheit equivalent at the bottom. Roughly for 30 minutes or until it gets golden brown. While this bakes, we can work on the filling. No, we can work on the filling. I already have this. Just 1 cup of this. What am I going to do with the rest? Please suggest in the comment box. Combine the halaya and mix well.
You don't need a machine for this.
Look at this lovely color.
Adding 1.5 cups milk now, fresh milk. It would be very sweet if I use the entire can of condensed milk. That's the reason for using fresh milk. Now add 2 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon, just according to taste, of this ube flavoring. Just mix well and cook a la bain-marie or banyo Maria. Or call it double boiler if you will, at medium or high flame. And if you can, continuously stir it, but stirring it from time to time will do.
This will take roughly 40 minutes until it solidifies. Not solidifies, but until it thickens. I can't deny adding food color. That brand has a rather dark tone. I think it's been 30 minutes. At this point, we cannot leave this. We need to continuously stir it or whisk it. There are other versions of Ube Brazo de Mercedes. The other involves adding ube flavoring to the meringue. We'll do that next. That's why if you're enjoying this video and learning something, and getting inspired, I should say, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be doing more baking, growing, and cooking. It's now cooked and it has reached its workable consistency. If we cook this further, it will be difficult to spread. So let's turn it off. And while it's still hot, we'll add 4 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter. The addition of the butter gives it that extra shine, and it will also allow it to get firmer when it's refrigerated. So in effect, it stabilizes the filling. This has to cool, and we have to wait for our meringue to bake as well. So for the meantime, let's relax. It's been baking for 30 minutes. Most recipes suggest just 20. I'm afraid it's overbaked. Let's see. Not bad. Let's allow this to cool as the filling also cools, and then we can apply it and roll the Brazo de Mercedes. Look, our meringue, baked meringue, is now cold. It even shrunk. We can't avoid that. Do you know how to avoid it, by the way? And our filling is also cold now and it's ready for spreading. Look at that. Look at the colors, glorious. Let's flip it over or invert it. What I have here is a mixture of 50% sugar, confectioner sugar. In fact, it's just ground sugar, ground granulated sugar, which I ground using a kitchen mixer, plus 50% of cornstarch. This is to avoid, or this is to keep the surface from sticking. Why, you might think, or you might ask, why 50% sugar and 50% cornstarch? Because if I use more sugar, yeah, it will absorb moisture and it will be sticky when this is kept in the fridge. So that problem is minimized with cornstarch. Now, oh yeah, why did I touch it there? Sorry, let's just cover that. Why did I touch it there? That's what I wanted to say, or that's what I wanted to avoid, sticking. So be generous with powder. Bagong ligo ang pakiramdam. And then I'm gonna use this parchment paper, cover it. I hope it doesn't stick. And then, jaran. Yeah, remove that one. And flip it over. This should have been easier if I used the non-stick parchment paper. I ran out of it, that's why I used this ordinary parchment paper. which is difficult to remove.
Greasing the parsnip paper could have avoided this as well.
But this is still workable. Let's apply the meringue, oh not the meringue, but the filling now.
Notice the area, the edge that I did not cover with the filling.
Now let's roll it.
Let's roll it along the shorter side to give that swirl look that's desired.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this. The filling is still soft. I just have to chill this and then cut the ends to make it more presentable. This will look good later. Yeah, believe me.
And overnighting in the fridge, ideally. The ends have been cut and it's time to serve. Look at this lovely slice of Brazo de Mercedes with ube flavored filling. Go on. Thank you for joining me here again, and I hope you have been inspired to do this at home as well, as we all grow, cook, and share. Until next time. It's really good.